Guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
Hey guys, good morning and welcome back to Breakthrough with Coach Lou. It is live on Friday morning. Friday morning means you have accomplished another week. Another amazing week, guys. What do you think of that? Let's hear it in the chat and the convo here this morning, guys. What do you think of that? This is our day we spring into action. And what a cool metaphor that is, because, you know, when you think about it, it is spring here. We're going into spring. It's March 1st. The original live date on this, if you're joining me live, it is March 1st, ready to rock and roll. And it is our spring. But remember, our metaphor for spring is this. It's a metaphor for the seasons of life, which don't necessarily follow the seasons of the weather. Okay, our seasons of life. Remember, just as a quick review here, guys, seasons of life is, your springtime. It's your time to grow, flourish, plant, get things started. Summertime is the time to enjoy. It's warm, it's nice out, it's beautiful. And then you go into your winter. Your fall is your harvest time. Everything you put forth in the meantime throughout the year, you're harvesting, you're reaping, and then you hit this winter. And hopefully you're prepared for winter. You put some stuff aside, you're ready, because there is a winter season. And right now we have seen a lot of winter season, say for the last 4 years. Since 2020, we have been in economic, emotional, etc. winter, and it's time to come out of it, guys. And some people flourish in wintertime. That's sometimes people's favorite season is winter. So in a lot of warriors, that's the case. A lot of entrepreneurs function best in winter because you got to work harder. It's tougher, or you provide a service that makes life easier on others during the winter season of life. Okay, so just that was a quick preface to today's show, but we are going into spring, baby. It is time to hit into some spring. So Monday, we learned, what has been stopping you from getting into your spring and your summer season of life. What has been holding you back from doing the things that you really want to do? And you know what we found out? One of the biggest holdbacks was our own beliefs. This is what we found out on Monday. If you weren't with me on the show, go back and watch the replay at XLR8Life.com. Go to our Breakthrough blog and check it out, guys, because it was a powerful morning. Then on Wednesday, we learned that you can harness this power of belief to serve you. Okay, I should have said Monday was more of learning about the disbelief of what holds you back. And then Wednesday was, how do you get that? And how do you get that belief within you? How do you use those archetypes? And you're like, what is an archetype? Archetype is your warrior, you got to step up and do something, or your lover, or your magician, your creative side. We have all these archetypes. We just literally decide and fire them off when we need to, or don't even fire them off at all when we need to. Okay. And then I gave you your 7 hacks on Wednesday. We're going to review those real fast. Number 1 was find your worthy. What does that mean? That means you're worthy of success. That means you are worthy to have what you have. You weren't put on this earth to suffer or be small or play out little or, come and go and nobody even knew you were here. You're meant for something great. And that is a different definition in each person. Okay. One person's version of greatness it repels the other and vice versa. It's what you are here for. What is your worth? What are you worth? Why are you here? That's what your worthy is. Number 2, we learn to eliminate our limiting beliefs. Okay, when you have a belief that limits you, you're screwed. Like the old Ford saying, Henry Ford said it. If you believe you can, you're right. If you believe you can't, you are right. That is such a truth, because you got to get rid of what limits your beliefs. If you feel that, hey, you know what, I'm not good enough, or I'm not old enough, or I'm too old, or I'm too this, that's a limiting belief. That's going to hold you back. You're never going to put in the effort if you don't believe you can do something. Okay, so you got to uninstall those, and then you put in some stronger beliefs. Remember times where you succeeded and succeeded well. Was there ever a time you did something and you just seemed to be in that flow state, and wham, 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 and somebody said, great job, and you look back and go, yep, that was me, baby. That was me. Okay, well, harness that. What was your recipe for doing that? Well, I got there and I just started and I took action and it flowed, and there was more to it. There was some things you specifically did. So go back at a time like that and go, hey, that time I was really on fire. Okay, not literally like on flames, but, well, we've walked on fire, so maybe we were literally on fire. But you know what I'm talking about. Remember a time like that. Those fire walks are an amazing example of that. You go up and you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so scary. You do it and you get to the other side and you go, if I could do that, I could do anything. Roar! Well, it should feel like that more often. Okay. Then the number 4 thing is determine what it would take to be that kind of person. And you go, what do you mean? Well, what kind of person would succeed at what? Your success you might be going after right now might be business. It might be career. It might be financial. It might be relationship. Maybe you're single and you're looking to get into a relationship and you don't even know where to start. Well, what kind of person would attract the person you want? That's the question to ask. What kind of person would you have to be to open a business? And you go, well, I got to be somebody else. I got to be non-authentic. No. Be you, be authentic, but what would that person do? And that's where role modeling and mentoring and coaching is so cool, because you can find somebody who's already done what you do or what you're doing and model them. Okay, this stuff isn't horribly difficult. It just takes work. To get there, what kind of person would you need to be? Maybe you're going to be a parent soon. Maybe you're going to be a brand new parent and you're going, oh my God, what do I do? Well, what kind of person would it take to bring up a child in today's day and age at the level of morals and how you feel to do that? And then you model yourself to become that person. Pretty darn smooth, but it takes work. Again, number 5, that resolve to do something daily, weekly, monthly, and measure it. You got to resolve in your heart and in your soul and in your mind that there is no other option than to follow through. Decision comes from the Latin root decidere, I think, which means, I'm off on my Latin this morning, to cut off from. It means, in other words, literally you cut off from the decision of failure. You decide and you cut off from anything else that's not going to give you what you want. Pretty darn cool play on words, right? Easy stuff to do. Good morning, y'all. Good morning. Good morning. I see everybody out there this morning. Welcome to the show. All right. So number 6 was install anchors for times that your confidence wavers. What do you mean an anchor? An anchor, it was funny. I was in a Tony event years ago doing leadership. And I said to this gal, I said, you got to set an anchor. And she's like, an anchor, that'll hold me back. And I'm like, meaning. Remember the meaning of something. Meaning to her, she was thinking like a boat anchor that stops you. And I'm like, no, you got to anchor something in, like a PowerPoint or, not a PowerPoint that you put on the computer, a point of power where you go, yes, and you're ready to rock and roll. Okay. So install these anchors for when your confidence wavers, and you'll have it at will. So if you go, when I need self-confidence, I'm going to tap my chest and go, yes, yes. Okay, boom. Now you're in a state, a whole different state, and you can approach the situation no matter how scary it is. Okay, number 7 is create the identity that's unstoppable. This is where the archetypes fall into place. And what are these mystical archetypes? They are just simply versions of your personality. There's the warrior, there's the lover, there's the magician, there's the, and it goes on. But let's take an example. If you're going to go run an OCR race, you might want to tap into that warrior mode. Yeah, I'm going to get this done. If you're looking to surprise your spouse, on Valentine's Day, you don't want to be the warrior. Yo, babe, I got you some flowers. You want to be the, hey. All right, that's your tapping into the lover. If you're trying to create something new and you're going, I need to get really creative, you're not going to go, warrior. You're not going to go, hey. You're going to go, yes, let's get creative here. Okay, and I know I'm being overly exaggerating, but that's what I'm talking about. When you tap into those and you go, what state do I need to be in? So archetypes are basically the state of mind that you're going to be in. Okay, so now on to today's lesson, how to spring into action. And like we talked about when I started the show, and I see a few new people tuning in. Good morning, folks. Good morning. What we have here is when you spring into action, spring is a metaphor of the seasons of life, not only the time of year. Now, this is an amazing time of year because the weather starts to warm up. The days get longer. You have more sunshine. That automatically affects your emotions. And I for years, I'm like, weather doesn't affect anything. It doesn't affect business. It doesn't affect, heck, it does. Okay, it does not determine your outcome, but it affects. If you wake up in the morning and there's a beautiful sunrise and the weather's nice out, is it not a little easier to go get and start moving and do your workout and get your day started and start working on your work projects than if it's rainy, miserable, cold, and dark? Does it not give you a little advantage? Now, when it's rainy, cold, miserable, and dark, that's the time to go, let's have a cup of Life Boost coffee and talk about our next level. See, you can offset that and you can use it to your advantage, but spring is a time of sunrises early, better weather, and a time to get going. So how do we spring into action? Number one, we set the tone for this spring by setting your identity that you're going to work with, that archetype. Okay, that is, am I going to be in warrior mode? Is it time to really build our business? Is it time to get serious about our finances? Or, you know what, I got a little padded over the winter time and I'm single and I want to find a date for summer. I want to, I got to get in shape. What do you need to access there? Do you need to create a new business and get into your magician? Do you need to exercise really hard and get strong and fit for summer so you get into that beast mode type of mindset? Whatever it is, access whatever you need that's a part of you. This isn't about changing who you are. It's about accessing what you already have to give you what you need in a given situation. Then fire your anchor. Okay, you're like, okay, it's all great and dandy. I don't feel like it. Boom, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is the next thing. Number 3, apply the 5-second rule. Mel Robbins coined it. I'm sure somebody created it probably in the dark ages, and we've all used it where you just had to take a breath and count down and go, or take a breath and count down and don't say something once in a while. More often it's to count down and say something, but you know what you need to do. 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Or, have a sayings that takes about 5 seconds. It's a pretty magical process. Get Mel's book. I'll leave a link to it. I always like to listen to the audio book, like when I'm driving and stuff, and then have the actual book or the Kindle to read at home so it kind of interacts. Once I said I like to read and listen, to the same book at the same time, and somebody's like, you read the page as you listen to it? And I'm like, no. That would be kind of hectic. But, this way, all of a sudden you hear something, you go, God, that sounds familiar. Well, yeah, because you read it yesterday, or vice versa. You read it and you go, that sounds familiar. Oh, it doubles. I actually think at 3 to 4 X's, if not 10 X's, you're learning when you do it that way. And number 4 is just do it when it's time to spring into action. So how do we do this? We set the tone by accessing whichever identity or archetype you want to jump into. All right, I'm gonna jump in a cold plunge. Well, you're not going to do that by going, I'm the magician. How can I give creative to not get in, to not get cold? No, that's when you go into that warrior mode and go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, boom. So you fire your anchor. Now the step 2 and 3 can be interchangeable. You can fire your anchor, count down the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, or count down 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, fire the anchor and do it. Number 4 is just do it. Get in. If you're going to do this stuff, just get in and do it, okay? Doesn't always win. You don't always win. It doesn't always go perfectly. But the thing I can assure you, if you do not take action, you'll never get it, okay? Going back to Henry Ford. If you think you can, you're right. If you think you can't, you're right. And going to Coach Lou, if you don't take action, you certainly won't. If you do take action, you certainly will hit your goal, come a lot closer to it, or exceed it. Those are the three options. Taking no action will never get you to your goal. That is a guarantee. And taking massive action is not always a guarantee you're going to get to an exact destination. But let me ask you a question. If it's a financial goal and you go, oh, I want to make some more money this year, and you make $10 more, have you made your goal? Yeah, technically you have. But how exciting is that? And then there's another person who goes, I want to double my income this year. And you look at them and go, you're freaking crazy. You're making $25,000 a year. You're going to turn it into $50,000 this year. You're nuts. I just said I want to make a little more money. And they did. They made $10 more. So they exceeded their goal. And the other person goes, well, I didn't double it, but I got it to 45. Well, who's the winner there? The person that made, $25,010 because they had a goal to make a little more money, or the person that ended up making $45,000 that year and didn't quite hit their goal? I'll take the more money, right? So you got to get the logic in here, guys. It doesn't mean that you don't really push to hit your goals, because some people say, well, in that case, does it really give you the same amount of drive? Well, yes, you got to act like you're going to exceed that goal. And even if you fall a little short, it's a whole lot better than going nowhere. Make sense? So the thing I want to leave you with today is do this process we just went through with small and large decisions and goals. Practice it all the time. Use it daily, even on a daily goal. Hey, I want to do X today. And go through these steps. Okay? And you might go, well, that's using it up on silly stuff. No. That is practice for the big ones. Okay? So, musical notes. All right? I play a little bit of guitar. And I am by all means not an Eddie Van Halen yet. But the deal is, I can look here and go, I practiced that one time. Does that make me a pro at it? No. I might practice it 50 times just to be able to not miss one note in a scale, or to not stop for a second, or to actually get the timing right. 50 times just to get it right, or a chord progression. Okay, so you might say, well, that's you're just practicing that. You're not even playing a song. But that has to lead to it. It's the same thing with talking about doing what we're talking about today. When you just practice that one line of running through this process on a small, just like a riff, oh, you get really good at it. Then you add another. Then you add another. Next thing you know, you're playing the whole song, or you're playing out your whole plan. Make sense? For you musicians out there, you know what I'm talking about. For the rest of us, you know what I'm talking about, guys. Let's step it up and do this. Okay, so let me ask you 3 questions before we leave today, and I want you to write these down and answer them for yourself. What is this identity that serves you the greatest? Is it the warrior, the lover, the magician, the creator? There's all kinds of the faithful servant. There is all kinds of archetypes, and you're going to use them all. But right now, what is the one you need to access the most? And if you're needing to get physically fit, chances are I'm going to say that you're going to really activate that warrior a lot. If your goal is to get a business open this year, you're going to activate that magician a lot to create. Okay, and these aren't woo-woo, and some people are like, oh, my faith doesn't want to talk about magicians and stuff like that. This is stuff to play around with to get you there. This isn't getting into a cult, or getting into devil worshiping magic or black magic. This is being in that state of mind. Magician is simply a creative state of mind. Your God, your creator, gave you these gifts of these different archetypes to work with within you. You're multifaceted. You're a diamond. You're not a flat piece of paper on the floor. You are a diamond. You are multifaceted. Okay. So which one is this identity or archetype that's going to serve you the most right now? Number two, when you choose an anchor, why'd you choose it? See, boom, because that kind of drives it into my heart. That's where I'm strong. Okay. Once in a while, I have an anchor I'll share with you. Years ago, I had a problem on the auction block when I was doing an auction. Heat stroke or something like that. It turned out to be adrenal fatigue. I went down. I ended up trying to drive myself to the hospital, didn't make it, walked in a police station and collapsed. Got rushed to the hospital, spent 10 days in the hospital. And, the thing that was traumatic. I don't care how you look at it. I thought I was dying. Okay. I thought I was having a stroke or something. Face went numb, couldn't think, all kinds of really crazy symptoms hit me. And, I didn't know what had happened. I thought something was really wrong. And there was. I was totally fatigued. So I'm in this hospital and I get out. Well, what happens when I get on an auction block and I go, or to get up and speak in front of people? My chest starts to tighten. My head starts to feel funky. I feel tingly in my face. Doesn't mean I'm still adrenally fatigued. It took me about 6 months to get back 100%, but we'll talk about that later in some health blog parts. But the thing was, I was like, crap, something's got to give here. Now this has gone from what was a physical situation to this is an emotional PTSD version of this. Now, not, I'm very cautious to use that word, but I understand. So if you go through a PTSD through something, I understand. Don't use it as a crutch, but I understand it feels very real. Okay. And obviously the physiology that goes along with the stress moment, get it. Now, I don't usually talk about this. I've mentioned, what happened with the fatigue and how to avoid stuff like that. So I had to come up with an anchor, and I can't be there on the block going, yes, yes. People will think I'm going a little batty. No, plus I'm not at that point wanting to overstimulate my immune system or my nervous system. So what I would do is I would just have a small put pressure between my finger and my thumb, and I would throw into my auction chant, it's all good. In other words, I told myself right out, it's all good. You're just worried this is going to happen again. And that would be just enough time to diffuse the emotion that was triggering the physiology, and the adrenaline would come down and I'd be fine. But I had to get an anchor to do that, or else, it was going to be debilitating in the long run, to have this constant stress of, oh my God, what if it happens again? Okay. You would think I would go, okay, I didn't die, but I also was like, I don't want to ever live in the hospital for 10 days again. Lexi was there with me the whole time. She wouldn't go to school. She wouldn't let her mother come pick her up. None of it. She stayed in that hospital room. She showered there. She ate there every single day with me. She was little itty bitty. She'd curl up next to me and go, okay, Daddy, I'm not leaving you, which was an amazing experience in itself. But I had to choose an anchor, is my point to that. And that was a very candid story. I mean, I don't love talking about it. It was scary. Nobody wants to face major health issues or minor health issues or the unknown. Okay. But it made me grow because it made me realize, how can I teach you this? Okay. Then number 3, how does this feel in the overall when you start combining that archetype with an anchor? How does that make you feel? It's unstoppable. Like a lover, like a creator, like a giver, like, how does, or, somebody who serves or connected, how does this make you feel? All right, so what I want you to do now is go out and put this into work, put it to work, and report back to me on your progress in the comments, depending on where you're watching. Email me, message me, comment on the posts, wherever you are seeing this. Please put your comments in. I want to know how this is working for you guys. I want to know how I can continue to hone these processes to help you. Processes, maybe I had a little too much coffee this morning. Yeah, Life Boost, guys. Life Boost coffee. Yum. Organic, the best. I'll leave links for it. Yes, I'm an affiliate. I get a tiny little baby commission. It helps support the show, helps support the sites and everything else, so I can continue to bring you this stuff, because this room I'm sitting in, This equipment, it's not cheap, but it's worth it. And that's what I encourage you in life, to take a quick shout out to yourself and go, what do I need? What is my environment to be able to support what I'm trying to do in this world? Are you a podcaster too? Are you a coach? Are you a business person? Are you an employee? Are you a mom, a dad? What is it that you are here to work on? And what can you set yourself up with each and every day to set up your environment and your processes to win? This is what we're going after here. You winning. And winning doesn't mean winning over somebody else necessarily. Maybe you're a competitive racer and that is winning to you. Winning means that you are living life on your terms, your standards, and you are doing things in a way that is ethical to you, and you're honoring your creator, your God, however you call him, by what you do. Pretty cool, huh? All right, guys, I want you to live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lou. I'm going to sign off until the next roundabout. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I'll see you soon.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.